Policy exclusions and prohibitions. Life insurance policies typically exclude certain risks from coverage. Some risks may be excluded for a lifetime while others are excluded for a specified period. Standard policy exclusions. A risk that is excluded from coverage means that the policy's death benefit will not be paid if death results from that risk, even after the contestability period ends. The following standard policy exclusions are permitted in most states: war, aviation, hazardous occupations and hobbies, commission of a felony, suicide, within first 2 years only. War exclusion. The war exclusion, or war clause, excludes paying the death benefit if the death was a direct result of war. Aviation, hazardous occupations and hobbies exclusions. Life insurance policies may exclude coverage for aviation, hazardous occupations, and hobbies. The aviation exclusion excludes coverage if the insured was involved in operating an aircraft as a pilot or crew member. It does not apply to passengers on private aircraft or to fare-paying passengers on commercial and charter airlines. The hazardous occupations or hobby exclusion excludes a death benefit if the insured dies because of his or her occupation or hobby, as identified in the policy. Alternatively, some policies allow coverage of these risks but charge an additional premium if the insured engages in these activities. Suicide provision. The suicide provision is included in virtually all life insurance policies. It denies payment of the death benefit if, during the first 2 years following policy issue, the insured commits suicide. After the 2-year period passes, death by suicide is covered. If an insured does commit suicide during the 2-year exclusion period, the insurance company returns the premiums paid, with interest, to the policy owner, if different from the insured, or the beneficiary, if the insured was the policy owner. Prohibited policy provisions. The business of insurance is regulated mainly at the state level. As such, states can control the provisions of insurance contracts issued within their borders. Most states prohibit insurance companies from including any provision in their contracts that would limit the period for filing a lawsuit against the insurance company to anything less than 1 year after a triggering event is noted. Make the settlement of the cash value at maturity less than the sum of the face amount plus dividend additions less any loan amount. Name the producer as the insured. Allow the policy to be forfeited if the total owed on a policy loan is less than the loan value of the policy. For your review. Deaths due to an excluded risk are not covered even if they occur after the contestability period ends. The war exclusion excludes coverage only if death was the direct result of war activity. The aviation exclusion does not apply to fare-paying passengers. The suicide exclusion in most states lasts for the first 2 policy years only.
Okay, so this is a short and sweet video or lesson. What is the standard life insurance policy suicide exclusion period? 1 to 2 years. All the following are true about standard policy exclusions are correct except, so which one is wrong? The warrant commission of a felony exclusions are required by law. Standard exclusion found most applied for the life of the policy, even after the contestability period begins. The policy excludes a risk from coverage. The insurer will not pay the policy's benefit if death results from that risk. I don't know. The war exclusion usually excludes paying the death penalty only if the death directly resulted from war. That sounds wrong to me. I'm going to go with my first choice. Jones is the policy owner and insured of an insurance policy that contains a standard suicide. He commits suicide after 18 months after the policy was issued. In 18 months is a year and a half. Jones' beneficiary will get which of the following from the insurer? I guess we'll do, it said 2 years, not a year and a half, but Maybe the full death benefit. It's either a return of the premiums paid or nothing, which we'll see. Because it said 2 years in the lesson, so here it's not even given that choice. All the following are standard life insurance policies except legal action limit. I don't even know what that is. Alright, we only got one right. And 1 to 2 years was correct, so I should have went with my first gut. Alright, this is number 2 is super confusing. The war and commission of felony exclusions are required by law. I don't know why I don't write this a little bit better so it's easier to understand. I don't know what that means. I guess if you commit a felony and you're in war, you don't get covered. Anyway, that's the one that's wrong here. The rest of these are correct. Alright, so number 3. A return of the premiums paid only. They don't get... Did I hit plus interest? I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, I meant to hit paid only. You're not going to get interest. You're not going to get the full death benefit either at 18 months. 2 years... 2 years, you probably get the full death benefit. Excuse me. Alright, so this one is all standard life insurance policies include war clause, suicide, hazardous hobby exclusion, and they do not include a 6-month legal action limit provision. I have no idea what that even is, but I'm just making that up. Alright, so that's this lesson. The next one will be policy beneficiaries. I'll see you on the next one.